Let's get to the comment of the day, and this is where I'm going to explain my what I now call is 10-10 rule. And this viewer obviously did not understand, so let's read the comment first. And this is what happens when, I'm pretty sure this is a girl, but it could have been just a simp, right? When they watch content like this, they listen a strong, men talk, and they just cannot even fucking comprehend with their brains how the real world works. Because they've just been stuck in this matrix. I understand why women stuck in the matrix. They've created it, and it's great for them, right? But when men do this, this is why I try to break them out of it. So that's why this movement is called the red pill movement. All right, I'm gonna call her, right? Because even if it's a man, a pussy. But okay, let me get this straight. You want women to sleep with men within 10 hours of meeting after men invest no more than $40, $10 per date. I suggest if your subscribers want really low investment sex, that they propose and marry quickly and have free sex thereafter. Problem solved. Okay, let's unpack this clusterfuck of e-comment. First of all, getting married does not guarantee regular sex. As a matter of fact, it guarantees one, that you will never have sex with another woman again except for your wife, that will not get prettier every day at all. She will get uglier. The sex will get worse. She will get fatter and lazier. So marriage sex is not for me. I have always been in non-monogamous relationships. I do not buy the concept of monogamy. I think it's awful. Thank God I'm here in Thailand where non-monogamy is actually accepted. I know quite a few, men who have two wives or a wife and a girlfriend or just two girlfriends and stuff like that. The girls that I'm dating all know about each other. I'm not hiding it, and they all accept it. And a lot of times, because I date girls who usually, have a lot of, they have to spend a lot of hours at work, and it works for them, right? The fact that they don't need to worry about me. There are other women who take care of me. It is a thing here. So yeah, so I don't mind, so saying, oh, if you want regular sex, just get married. That's a horrible thing. If you want to get sex, regular sex, come to Thailand or Southeast Asia in general. This is going to be no problem for you. All right, but let's go back. So she said, so you want women to sleep with men within 10 hours of meeting? No, no, you're too fucking stupid. If this is what you got out of the video that you watched, to which you replied, you're too stupid to watch my videos. Okay, you're just too stupid. Sorry. So let me explain again. We're talking about how long a man should wait until he leaves without sex, right? A lot of guys, and I used to have a 3-date rule, meaning like, listen, you took her out on the first date, usually coffee, shouldn't be anything more than that. And that's where that second 10 comes from, right? Do not spend more than $10 per date. Well, I'll get back to it in a second. Then you took her out probably for dinner and whatever. And then the third date, maybe dinner and ice skating and a movie, something bigger, right? So if after those 3 dates she still doesn't want to have sex with you, you leave. And I have before, right? So I remember in Houston it happened, and I went out with a girl. I think she was in her 40s. She looked great. She was my hairstylist, right? And normally I wouldn't do it, but she was so beautiful. She was so southern. It was a black girl with a southern accent, very kind and polite. So after a few times, I was like, you know what? If I lose her as a hairstylist, that's fine. But she's great. So I took her out 3 times. You know, took her the third time. I took her to a nice restaurant, and a dessert and all that stuff. Spend money, no problem. And after that, I said, "Would you like to come to my place?" And she's like, "Oh no, I'm not that kind of a girl." And I'm like, "So you're that kind of girl who will let me pay for your dinners and spend at this point what $200 on you, but you you want to have sex with me, but you're not going to because of some fucking game you're playing that. So I said, okay, no problem, but just so you know, we're not going to see each other again. And she's like, okay. I'm like, great. So I left. That's the last time it happened to me where I was like, okay. But then I replaced that rule with something different because I've had so I think it's about the how many hours of quality time with you should a woman spend until she has sex with you? To me, it was more because some dates are 1 hour long, right? it's unreasonable to expect to have sex on a date after 1 hour. But some dates are like, I've gone to dates that lasted for like 8 hours, right? One of my last long, like 7 year relationships in America was when I met a girl and we spent like all night together. No sex, by the way. But so but to me, if after 10 hours, which on average equals out to 3 or 4 dates, if after all of that, attention, time, getting to know each other, holding hands, kissing, whatever, after all of that, a woman still goes like, nah, I don't want to have sex with you. She's either playing games, which means she wants to be in charge and she wants to essentially use sex as a tool to get stuff out of you, and that will continue in the future, or she's just not that attracted to you, or she, like a lot of times, like here in Thailand, a lot of these women just don't like sex that much. They're like, yeah, I'm good. So by the way, that's kind of a what sort of a dark side of being in a very conservative, and well, maybe not a conservative but traditional culture is, right? A lot of these women haven't had sex for a long time and they just don't even remember what it is. So you get that also. So my rule is that, listen, if I spend 10 hours with a girl and she doesn't, I'm out, right? Now, the second one is $10 per date. That's in America. It's $3 here in Thailand. But the first date, and we had a video that I went over yesterday in this live stream on Monday, uh, where a girl said, I don't do coffee dates. I need to be taken out for dinner. It's a low effort. It is a low effort in terms of financially, right? You do not want to basically, one, you want to find out that the girl's going out with you for you, and not for getting a free dinner and free drinks, right? Back in the day, we didn't have to worry about it because, if a girl agreed to a date with you, she wants to get to know you, have a relationship. That was pretty cut and dry. Nowadays, there's a huge number of women who go out with men to be entertained, to get attention, and to get free dinners, expensive drinks, and so forth and so forth. It's a thing. I think the other day, I think right here in the live chat or maybe in the comment section, I saw a guy saying, "Yeah, I went out on a date with a girl and she just flat out admitted that she just wanted the free dinner and she's not going to see me again." So it is a thing. Even here, I met quite a few guys, those simps who come from America, Australia, Europe, and so forth, and these Thai women who learned English and therefore learn how to take money away from simps. Do this all the time with these guys, and they go ahead and do it and spend the money. So yes, the first date should be just buying her a drink, which, by the way, you're still spending your fucking money on a girl, on a stranger, right? And you still have to show up, take your time. That's usually much more valuable than a girl's time. And look decent and entertain her and pick the place and lead the conversation and plan the date. All of that stuff you still have to do, but somehow that's not good enough, right? A lot of women basically saying, well, you need to spend money on me. Other than that, I'm not showing up. Normally, I call it a prostitute, but I digress. So yes, $10 on the first date. Get her a drink, get her a cup of coffee, and that's it. And it should be all about getting to know each other. Take a walk. To me, it's always like coffee. Hey, do you want to take a walk? Right? That's it. That should cover about 3 hours on the first date. Now, I have gone out on dates that went like this, and we had such a great time, and it was dinner time, and I was like, let's just go for dinner right away. Meaning we're kind of entering a second date anyway, so might as well have a second date now. And then I don't mind buying dinner because now it's my decision and not hers, and I want to continue the date. And I never pick an expensive restaurant for the first date. So by the way, in America, I genuinely loved Chipotle. I don't miss that many things about America, but I do miss Chipotle. So I would tell her, I mean, there was no first date that I've ever had when a girl, after a couple of hours, did not know how much I loved Chipotle. Chipotle was my shadow girlfriend. So at that time, a lot of times said, there's a Chipotle around the corner, which pretty much everywhere in America, right? Uh, let's grab Chipotle. So that would be like what, eight at that time, $8 or $9 a plate. So, and if the girl said, yeah, totally, I love Chipotle, my kind of girl. So that is very important, that yes, you can prolong the date into a second date, and then it's okay to buy dinner as long as it's modest dinner and as long as it's your decision. We're good. So yes, $10 on the first date. Yes, let the girl earn it. And yes, If you spend more than 10 hours, which will include at least one dinner, but most of the time 2 dinners and maybe an activity like a movie, ice skating, bowling, whatever, cut your losses, get the fuck out. It's just, So hopefully this person is watching, and now I mansplained what I really meant. And I call it my 10-10 rule, and I'm very proud of it. I'm going to copyright it. If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.